Welcome back to Reynolds Field here for Game 2 of this CCC doubleheader between Salve Regina University and Endicott College. Andrew Pizzelli alongside Niall Silberman bringing you the call here this afternoon. In Game 1, the Seahawks walked off with a come-from-behind victory to put themselves in position here with a win in Game 2 to be the top seed in the CCC. They snapped Endicott's 17-game win streak and dealt them their first conference loss of the season. Pat Maybach on the mound to start Game 2, and he will start things off with a strike.
Good start to the game for Pat Maybach. He's going to come in and look to do exactly what Don Parachi was able to do, and that's get ahead early and use your off-speed stuff to get the strikeouts in here, Game 2.
And now the pressure is all on Endicott. I mean, the Seahawks are obviously going to be feeling the pressure. They want to be the number 1 seed, but for Endicott, that's, I don't know. I mean, a team that's 32-5 coming in, and you lose to another top team, as this one is hit for a base hit into left field. So a good start for Millar, the leadoff man, getting an early hit here on Maybach. But can you call it is it demoralizing? I mean, it's tough to say. You obviously get a turnaround game. You're still in a great spot, but first conference loss to a team that historically has kind of had their number in the last 5-6 years. It's got to be a little bit of a gut punch, at least initially.
Well, the way that it really feels as a former player and through a bit of a conversation I've had with some of the players, it's like your back was against the wall for the Seahawks. You were up against the ropes, and then all of a sudden you land that haymaker, and now all of a sudden you have them in the middle of the ring. And the Endicott team understands that they had you on the ropes, right? They needed one win, and it was that game. They could clinch the whole thing if they landed their punch. They weren't able to, and now they're both just standing there in the middle of that ring with their fists up. So it does change how you feel about the game and what that kind of underlying sentiment is as you're playing through this game. It's no longer we got you on the ropes if you're Endicott, and it's no longer we're up against the ropes if you're Salve. It's just a battle between two good teams, and nobody has the upper hand.
I was going to say, a boxing analogy is great because this is a heavyweight fight, and this is honestly only the preview. Like, this is like almost the exhibition match. I mean, I think we both expect for these two teams to see each other in the postseason. It's just going to be a matter of where. And that's what this game is going to decide here this afternoon.
Yeah, when you think about it, you can't really write it up any better than this from like a Hollywood. As that one's chopped to third.
Slow dribble to third. McCarthy fields, but the throw is not hard enough and short. It looked initially like that was foul. But they are going to give Spur the base. So 2 on with no outs here.
Well, now this is a leverage spot, that's to say the least. That was a single there, to really tough play, right along the line, even with the hardest throw that he could have thrown directly to Canoe. He probably still would have been safe against the good running Spur.
Notarangelo now with 2 on, none away. Gulls again looking for a fast start here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And this is a big spot for Maybach in the first. Runners on first and second, nobody out for him yet. And this game could end early, so getting the lead early could be a deciding factor in who wins this game because the game may only go 6 or 7 innings. It only has to go 5 for it to be an official game.
They were starting here. We started basically right around 3:45. We're expecting rain around 6. And obviously all of that is, being along the coast, it could start to mist and get windy and raw and nasty. And it's just par for the course, baseball here in New England.
And that's a great job by Dylan Ketch there. Keeping runners at first and second. As of right now, we have the double play in order. The count is 2-0. We do not like to see that up here from the booth. But that's a big play by Dylan Ketch. The ball only went about 57 feet, and he jumped up and blocked the curveball way off to his left. If that gets past him, all of a sudden, no double play in order. Runners on second and third, 2 in scoring position, nobody out. Nice job, Dylan Ketch.
That pitch does not get the call. 3 balls, no strikes. Maybach in danger of walking the bases loaded.
And one of our captains, Tommy Del Vecchio, making his voice heard, yelling out from the bullpen. Love to see that. 3-0 pitch, big time.
2 on, none away. Maybach delivers. And he gets the strike call. Count 3-1.
Runs are at a premium when you play against teams like these two we're seeing. Pat being able to get an out here would be big.
The 3-1.
Good.
On the corner and gets the strike.
Really well executed pitch there on that slider. Started about the middle of the plate, just caught the outside corner.
Notarangelo was well on his way to first base.
Yeah, he had tossed the bat. He was prepared to be on first base.
Full count. The pitch. Swing
Wow.
and a miss. Trying to throw back down to second. And diving back is Millar.
That was as big as it can get. Down 3-0 in that count. That cannot be forgotten. Loaded bases, nobody out, top first in the series. Clincher, all-deciding game that decides first place. He avoids that potential disastrous kind of territory to be in. And now there's one out, double play in order. Runner on first and second.
Nardone will bat here for the Gulls. With 2 on, 1 away. Maybach delivers for strike.
He's peppering that outside corner. And against lefties, that's about as good as you can get. You want to stay away from lefties, especially in a situation like this, especially with most of his breaking pitches moving outside and away from lefties. Could generate some swing and misses.
This one hit hard, but foul.
Most likely a fastball there on the outside half. Had a little bit of late break to it.
Last time Pat Maybach faced Endicott College was May 5th, 2018.
Yeah.
4 years ago. It's interesting to think, I mean, two teams as Maybach gets the big swing and miss for the strikeout. For a pitcher like Maybach, who has been one of the powerhouse pitchers in the CCC, but because of no COVID and no conference games in 2020, a potted schedule and no game versus Endicott last year, he was hurt in 2019 and didn't face the Gulls at all. For a guy that's been so dominant and most people you think would be familiar, the Gulls have not, and most of these Gulls have not seen Pat Maybach before.
That's a huge deal.
For a guy who's in his 6th year pitching.
Yeah, and Pat's not a guy that's going to overpower you with his fastball. He's a guy that's going to mix his pitches, slider, changeup, fastball, curveball, as he does there. Great curveball. And that is something that experience against a pitcher can help you understand, not only in kind of tendencies, and do you expect him to go with a slider in the 0-1? Do you expect him to go with a curveball in the 0-1? How do you expect him to pitch me? But also, you haven't seen the pitch shape out of the hand of Patrick Maybach, and a 4-pitch mixing pitcher is a rarity at the Division III level. And so it is it's a part of the problem Endicott's going to have, not having faced Patrick Maybach before.
0-1 to Mulready. That pitch down in the dirt. Top of the first. 2 outs. Maybach will kick and deliver. Low once again. Good job there by Dylan Ketch to block that ball. And that chases Millar back to second.
100%. He's having a really good first inning here. I mean, that's a captain. You expect it from him, but he's locked in behind the plate. He has prevented that runner from second from getting to third multiple times in the last two batters.
Ketch, one of the heroes from Game 1. Had a 2-run single to tie the game in the 8th. Chris Veneruso won the game for the Seahawks in the 9th. The pitch from Maybach in there for a strike to even the count 2-2.
Maybach's already shown his willingness to mix it early in this game. Unlike Parachi, who uses his fastball to get ahead early and often, Maybach will mix it.
Kicks and deals the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Pat Maybach battles back here in the first inning. The Gulls strand 2. And we head to the bottom of the first. Seahawks due up to bat. We'll be back. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Andrew Pizzelli alongside Niall Silberman bringing you the call. Matt D'Amato will lead things off against Nicholas Kanata.
And I will quickly say, Mrs. Ramu, I heard you were sick and listening at home. Hope you feel better and get back on your feet as soon as possible.
First pitch from Kanata is there for a strike. Sophomore from Marlborough, Connecticut. 6'1", 190-pound right-hander. This one is hurled behind. I think it clipped him.
It did.
It clipped D'Amato. So just no control there on that pitch, unfortunately for Kanata. So D'Amato, who did some damage with his bat in Game 1, will get hit by the pitch and bring Cicada to the plate. Mulready again behind the plate. Nardone, Pacheco, McKinley, Grabowski, the infield. Notarangelo, Spur, and Millar, the outfield for the Gulls here in Game 2. Cicada will take.
Well, runs are at a premium, but I don't think Matt D'Amato got that message. He's been on base now 4 out of 5 times, so he is really doing his part to score some offense for the Seahawks.
D'Amato will go, and swinging was Cicada. So D'Amato will have to trot back to first as that one's fouled off.
No, we'll see. Obviously, Patrick Maybach had to work through some severe turbulence in order to get out of his inning one without any runs being scored against him. Now the Seahawks have runners on first with obviously their 2-3-4 coming up. We'll see who wins this battle and if we're able to push some runners onto the base paths.
D'Amato hops back to the bag safely. Few raindrops already starting to drizzle here at the field. Obviously hoping to get both of these games in today because tomorrow is going to be a complete wash as Cicada finds a gap in left center for a base hit.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Seahawks saw their starter, Patrick Maybach, go out and allow 2 runners to reach in the first 2 at-bats. And the Seahawks have matched suit, and now they are going to force their starter, Kanata, to have to do the same sort of magic that Patrick Maybach did in the top half of this inning. Runners on first and second, nobody out.
Dylan Ketch, as we said, was one of the heroes in Game 1. Bats now with 2 on. He plays this one softly to Kanata. He'll field and throw. Catches out at first, but that will advance both runners. A little small ball there from the Seahawks.
Well executed. Runners on second and third with less than 2 outs. It's a good situation to score some runs, especially with a fly ball. The fly ball dominant first baseman, Tyler Canu. He has 8 home runs on the year. Had obviously that big, loud fly out to center field in the later innings of Game 1.
Second and third now for Canu, who takes a strike. Like we said, obviously you're hoping to get this game in full, or at least to a degree of completion. But if you're Salve and needing this win, getting on top early is critical.
Yeah, I mean, exactly right. This game could end as soon as rain starts falling and it's not safe for pitchers to be thrown off the mound, things like that. If we can get a lead early, the game could end after the 5th.
Nasty looking pitch there from Kanata. Canu just watches it. Count 1 and 2.
The job here for Canu is to get a fly ball or a ground ball to the right side. And with their defense playing back, even a ground ball up the middle would do it. He's just looking to make contact here.
The 1-2. Canu again will just watch that pitch, and he will go down looking.
Well, that brings up Will McCarthy. He had one of the finest defensive plays of the year for the Seahawks in a situation back in the later innings of that game where if he doesn't get that out, who knows, Endicott may score one more, a crucial part of the Game 1 win.
Oh, there were a bunch of plays. Again, there'll be no stat as this one is chopped to third, fielded there. The long throw is in time from Grabowski to Nardone, and that ends the inning. So much like Pat Maybach got out of a jam, Kanata gets out of the jam, and we are scoreless through 1. Top of the second coming up here from Reynolds Field. We'll be back.
And welcome back to the top half of the second inning. Number 33, the DH Perkins, is up now for the goals. He was the source of the power back in Game 1. He had the home run in the 7th inning off of Dom Parachi. Andrew Rowan caught him looking on a fastball. And he will now have his first look at another lefty in Patrick Maybach. And we were talking about it at the break, but really effective job by Maybach to get out of that jam in the first. This is going to be a game where scoring runs is not going to be the easiest thing to do. It's going to be at a premium. So for him to work out of a jam like that was immensely massive because he'll be getting his 1, 2, 3 innings in his own time. So to work out of a jam like that was big as Perkins fouls the ball back here.
So the shortstop, McKinley, and Alexandra Zazer, pitcher, obviously, will have not faced Patrick Maybach, and Nicholas Perkins, two of the batters who, in all likelihood, have seen Pat Maybach as grad students now. So maybe a tad of familiarity. Potentially. We'd have to do the deep dive into those individual box scores from the two starts that Maybach has had in 2017-18.
Fair to say that most of them have not.
Most have not. It is very fair to say.
Here's Maybach with 2 strikes, the 1-2 pitch outside with his slider. You know, the difference, I'd say, between Maybach and Parachi for what the objectives have to be that you can effectively metrically evaluate, Parachi has to be inside and outside with his fastball because he does everything that he does off of those 2 pitches. With Maybach, as he sets for his 2-2 pitch, beautiful curveball. Wow, strike 3, got him looking.
There's not much you can do about that.
Not at all.
We talk about Canu had a few pitches he could do nothing but look at. In that situation there, Perkins, I mean, as a lefty, what are you going to do with that pitch that is up at your eyeballs
exactly.
and then comes through the strike zone and finishes below your knees?
When that pitch comes out of Maybach's hand, it looks as if it's going to come hit me in the face, and then next thing you know, it's in there for strike 3. Great pitch. Best of the day for Maybach so far. And he follows it up with another good one, Andrew. Wow. But for Maybach, he's not like Parachi where his fastball is 90, 91, and he's going to really terrify any hitter with the fastball. He, as he is quickly almost ahead 0-2, but it's 1-1, he's going to mix his 4 pitches from start to finish in this game. And if he can't really use his slider or his changeup or his curveball, that just knocks down one of the pitches. This one's hit really hard out to left center field. Brandon Grover's giving chase, and it will go over the wall in left center field. So that will be the first run of the game. Endicott scores on the big fly from number 8, and that is Pacheco.
That one just carried. Initially looked like it was just going to be high and not incredibly far, but that one just kept on going.
And that appeared to be on the slider. Maybach's missed a few times with the slider well off the plate. He located it in the middle of the plate that time, but Pacheco just got all of it and smashed it to left center. And he goes with the changeup there and misses that. But the key to success for Maybach will be throwing his 4 mixed pitches for a strike, which is what he's done all year and for his career, as this one's ripped through the right side. And now with 1 out, a runner on first, a run already having scored. A little bit more trouble for Maybach here in the top half of the second.
Well, he certainly put himself in some trouble in both innings. Worked out of it in the first. I mean, Parachi gave up the home run in Game 2 to make it 2-0, which felt at the time like a massive, like 2-0 was this huge deficit just because of the way the Seahawks had not been hitting.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, it's a big hit. It's a loud hit. It is just 1 run.
Exactly right, yeah. And the offense looked very good. They came out firing on all cylinders in the first. Beautiful pitch. So Maybach's curveball looks like it's in A-plus form today. Grades just came out for all the Seahawks students, which we did very well to all the parents out there listening. His curveball is at an A-plus level. His slider, he'll have to work on it as the game progresses to find his zone, basically, as he misses again with it there. But his fastball is in A range, and his changeup he's only thrown once. So we're looking for Maybach to really work effectively to get his slider into a position where he likes it in any count.
Are you handing out GPAs now, along with we got ERAs and
yes,
you got GPA now, pitchers GPA. Now Silverman's GPA.
Yeah,
GPA rating.
I'll call the dean, ask for it. But if he's able to mix his slider in, if he's able to get that slider into the mix, it changes how he can attack hitters. As for right now, he's kind of going to have to work with 2 pitches in big spots. And well done there. Moves the count to 2-2. Well, certainly a big pitch here. 2-2 count. Mayback checks over to first, kicks, delivers. Beautiful curveball, but is fouled off down the first baseline. Again, the 2-2. Mayback looks, kicks, delivers. And McKinley just gets a piece of that changeup. But a great pitch there. We'll see if he goes back to the changeup. He had McKinley almost completely beaten by that pitch. He just got a piece of it. Changeup also a ground ball inducing pitch. Again, he goes to it. This one's hit first base side. Canu steps on first, throws 2. Will not be in time to get the double play. To tag him out, throw him out over at second. But they do get the first out on the changeup. Runner on second, 2 outs. Top of the order, Millar is now at the plate. Millar started off this game with a single. Mayback checks back to second. The first pitch, curveball, just missed above the zone.
Already 33 pitches for Mayback. My numbers are unofficial, though. It may be higher.
Good pitch. Inner half. Mayback locates it just down and into the left-handed hitter. We'll see if he throws another fastball here. He could go with the changeup as he's trying to get a feel for that pitch so we can really lock it in. Cicada drifts over back to his shortstop position. That one's fouled off. Hit him right in the hands, but it just hit off the knob of the bat. Yeah, there's a bit of confusion. Both coaches kind of come out to discuss what just happened. But it does appear officially as if it's going to be a 2-strike count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and that one that hit him in the hands hit off the knob of the bat. And now Mayback 1 strike away from ending this inning. Mayback has his set. Veneruso in shallow right field. Lefty shift. There goes Cicada. The 2-2 pitch swung on grounded. Left of the first base bag, so way foul on the right side. They've moved Canu towards the first base line. Slid Veneruso a little bit to the 3-4 hole, and Cicada playing more up the middle than normal. Again, the 2-2 pitch, and that is swung on and missed. So the top half of the second inning will come to a close, but the goals do scratch across one with the deep fly home run to left center field by Pacheco. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. The goal's up 1-0. And welcome back to Newport, Rhode Island, where the Seahawks are facing the Goals in the biggest matchup of the year so far. It's a winner-take-all game. Today's winner is the number 1 seed in the CCC. The Seahawks are trailing 1-0, but we have our captain, the sophomore, the outfielder, Brandon Grover at the plate. He's in a 1-0 count. Good, healthy hack. He swings through a fastball on the outer half of the plate. And Kanata again misses arm side up, which is a telltale sign. There he does it again, that your front side's flying open early, which is in the second inning, and nobody getting hot in the Endicott bullpen. Certainly not something that the coaching staff's going to want to see. He's going to have to figure out a way to correct that himself before we get too deep into this game. It will cost him. Good pitch there. The 3-2 pitch to Grover. Good job of staying alive. He fouls that one off. Count stays full. A bit of a shift by the outfield. The center fielder is shifted in a little bit shallow and towards right center field. And he takes strike 3. It looked a tad bit low. It's called for a strike. And that will do it for the first batter of the inning in Brandon Grover. And that brings up the power-hitting DH, Ryan Grachel. He went hitless back in game 1. But he has been on a hot streak, to say the least. If he sees a pitch he likes, which he won't, he's hit by a pitch, and he'll trot over to first base.
He may still like that, though.
I bet you he does. Ryan Grachel is one of the true baseball guys. I mean, I'm sure he'll be showing that one off to his teammates later tonight. Check this one out. He loves the game of baseball more than just about anyone I've ever met. So I do imagine that he does like that one on the shoulder.
Didn't we have a game a few weeks ago? Didn't Dylan Ketch get hit 4 times?
It was Dylan. As a team, we were hit 12 times in a day, 10 in one game. I think the brunt of it was taken by a few players. I remember I saw the bruise that it left on Matt D'Amato's right thigh, and it was massive, it was a solid bruise, to say the least. He
Tattoo.
Yeah. And then Dylan Ketch was hit a few times. Everybody, it seemed like, got hit on that day. Oh, this one's ripped, but it's going to end up being foul. As Petrosino pulls the ball down the right field line. It went probably about 285, but just a tad bit foul. Petrosino is always capable of changing the game when he has a bat in his hands in the box. Outfield again is shifted in still. And they're going to call that one a strike, so strike 3 on Petrosino. Just under the numbers, I guess, is how you'd say it. A little bit above the belt, under the numbers. 2 strikeouts in the inning.
Here's Veneruso, who was the Game 1 hero in the 9th, and he
Yikes.
gets hit.
Well, he takes that like a champ, because he is. But he got hit on the shin there. That was on the shin bone, so I do know that does not feel good.
Well, top of the order for D'Amato and some people in front of him. 2 outs.
Yeah, good speed over at first. D'Amato's seen the ball beyond well today. He's been on base 4 times. That one called for strike 1. Kanata, without a doubt, is peppering the inside half of the plate to lefties. 4 strikes with his fastball at a really good rate right now. Which is one of the few places that he's been able to get ahead in counts consistently. He's been using his curveball, but it's been inconsistent to get ahead in counts. His fastball on the outside part of the plate has been inconsistent, and he flies open when he's shooting for the outside half. But when he's going inside, he's been really good today. And he does it again there. That gets D'Amato swinging, but they're going to throw him out down at first base, so that'll do it for the bottom half of the second inning. We get 2 runners on base via 2 hit-by pitches. We're not able to convert, leave 2 on base. We head to the top half of the third inning, trailing 1-0.
Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Top of the third here between the Seahawks and the Gulls. Pat Maybach dealing with the leadoff man, Spur, the center fielder. And his first pitch, check swing from Spur, will be a strike. This one knocked foul. Maybach quickly ahead 0-2 to Spur.
You'd love to see it. He got ahead on the fastball outside and then the curveball inside. It seems as if he's finding out what his pitches are and which counts.
It's 1-0 Endicott. They led 1-0 for quite some time in Game 2. Eventually pushed it to 2-0. Seahawks scored 2 in the bottom of the 8th. 1 in the bottom of the 9th to win. Already trailing 1-0 here again in this one as Maybach delivers low. Maybach will kick and deal. Hit through the gap past the diving Cicada for a base hit.
I mean, he didn't end up coming up with a play, but one heck of an effort by the shortstop there. Full extension dive to his right. Just nicks off the end of his glove.
So already 5 hits in the game here for the Gulls. Just the 1 run to show for it. But making contact here against Pat Maybach.
Yeah, they're really making him work for his outs. That's to say the least. We'll see, like, if he goes with his changeups here, tries to enforce kind of some dominance and get some ground balls. As much as there have been 5 hits, none of them, although the 1 home run was obviously lifted, most of the ground balls are coming on, most of the hits are coming on ground balls or line drives.
Dealing now with Nutterangelo, who will step out of the box. Nutterangelo, sophomore from Taunton, Mass. And taking off on that pitch that was down low is Spur, so he will be at second. I think we're going to rule that one a wild pitch. All of these things can be corrected at a later date. For now, it'll be a wild pitch from Maybach. And what has been his 50th pitch now.
A strikeout will be big here. Nobody out. Runner at second.
That one down low. Count even 2-2. Again, it started to drizzle here. Actually, I'll say spit. It's spitting right now.
Inconsistent miniature raindrops.
If we want to get really technical about it. Swing and a miss from Notarangelo. Big strikeout for Maybach.
Huge strikeout. You really can't even – you can't overstate the importance of getting that out there. Runner on second base, chasing one. It's a big deal to get out of these innings as quickly as you can, especially with the rain coming and knowing that your offense kind of wants to be working as quickly as possible. Good swing and miss pitch.
Delivers to Nardone. Strike one. Maybach glances back at second, and now will step off the mound. Chasing Spur back to the bag at second with one out, one on. 6 strikeouts already for Maybach. Here in the top of the third. Delivers high and inside. That brushes back Nardone. Count 1-1. That's a pitch that does two things. It changes that eye level and also maybe a little bit of a tone setter.
Absolutely. Fearful. Yes, it sets the right tone to that hitter that I'm here to definitely fight with you. This is not just some T-ball in the backyard or some wiffle ball. This is a fight between us.
Delivers there for a strike. Count 1-2.
Both the strikes have been beautiful curveballs. You do like to see that.
The pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 7th strikeout for Maybach.
7th strikeout out of 8 outs. So really getting after the Endicott hitters here.
It's kind of been a feast or famine start for Maybach. He has given up the 5 hits and a solo homer, but then has 7 strikeouts.
Exactly.
Dealing here with Mulready, the catcher. First pitch is outside. Mulready 0 for 1 with a strikeout here in game 2. Maybach kicks and delivers. That pitch, good for strike 1.
Beautiful change up there. That's probably one of the things that the coaching staff is looking at because they sent a catcher down. Braden Clark was getting himself loose with bands. They're trying to tell if what's to come is the 7 out of 8 outs coming from the strikeout Maybach or if it's the 5 hits and missing with his off-speed stuff Maybach. They can't really tell which way it's going to go, and he's making it hard on him because right now another beautiful change up there. It's difficult for them to tell exactly how well he's pitching because he's both sides of the coin.
And, we talk about the first time these Endicott hitters face Pat Maybach because obviously Pat Maybach is a stud. But that also cuts both ways. It's the first time that Pat Maybach has seen many of these hitters who are tremendous hitters.
Yeah.
That was just his 60th pitch of this game.
That's a good point because Maybach is one of the smartest pitchers you'll meet, so he knows how he wants to attack guys he's faced before. He doesn't have that, and that could be part of the reason.
This one chopped, charged by McCarthy, who bobbles it, tries to recover, but cannot. So that'll put runners at the corners with 2 outs.
But as I was saying, Maybach wants to figure out how he's going to attack you, and he does that by having all these at-bat logs in his head from all the batters he's faced before. He's talked about that in the past, and for him to not really know how he's going to attack certain hitters because he doesn't have that history with them, it could be part of the reason that he's getting himself into neutral counts or even hitters counts at times because he's not 100% sure of the best route to attack the given hitter.
So 2 outs, runners at the corners. On a play that McCarthy tried to, I think maybe took his eye off it just a little bit, trying to scoop and throw.
Well, it certainly puts the pressure on. We know that.
2 outs. Maybach dealing with Perkins, who has shown his big bat here today. This will be strike 1.
That was the best slider that Maybach has thrown today. Beautifully executed.
They're going to check on first. Mulready will dive back. Fouled off, just getting a piece was Perkins. Count 0-2.
Good spot. Perkins is a really tough out. He's shown that before. Had one long at-bat back in the first game against Parachi, and then also obviously had the home run against Parachi. It's nice to get ahead of those guys 0-2. Nice job by Parachi. Pardon me, by Maybach.
Yeah, a bit of a game there for the Gulls. I think wanted to try and catch the Seahawks and bring home the man from third, Spur. Instead, Mulready will take second, which the Seahawks will gladly take instead of allowing another run to come home.
Yeah, if they were going to make that out easy to get, we would have taken it. But Maybach wasn't going to sacrifice throwing the ball and potentially letting that runner from third score all to get the out. It's not worth it. He kept his cool.
And this one hits Perkins. So bases will be loaded with 2 outs. And Pacheco, who has already made himself known here in Game 2, will come to the plate. Massive opportunity here for the Gulls.
Yeah, in a non-eighth inning or later situation, this is the biggest at-bat of the day for either team. This could be a big right-handed blow for Endicott.
The Gulls could not get any separation against Dom Parachi. See what they can do here against Pat Maybach, his first pitch in there for strike. Who said it's been feast or famine here for Maybach. But all he needs is 1 out here to get out of this inning.
Really good start. Showed the curveball. Didn't get a swing and miss.
The 0-1. Fouled off. Count 0-2.
Well, he's in a position to win this at-bat. He's up in the count 0-2. But it has been an odd day for Maybach, so we're just going to watch and see what happens, basically. But it is a really good spot for Maybach to be in terms of 0-2. He's used 2 pitches in this at-bat.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Top of the third. Here's the pitch. On the corner, Maybach cannot get the call. He was looking. He was ready to head to the dugout. Sometimes we've seen him. He knows. He'll just walk right off and never even look at home plate. But that time, not able to get that call on the edge of the strike zone. Count 1-2. Trying to sit down Pacheco. With the bases loaded. The pitch. Hard hit to left field, down for a base hit. 1 run is in. The throw from D'Amato will hold it to 1 run. But it will stay bases loaded, and the Gulls add another run.
Well, that was a good pick by Will McCarthy over by third base. That ball bounced up tough off the dirt, and he had to pick that ball over his head. There was nobody backing him up, so if that got past him, it would have potentially been another run that was scoring, the runner on third currently.
Bases still loaded here. Grabowski now the batter. And he will take strike 1. Maybach now just trying to limit the damage here. Gulls have scored in back-to-back innings. The pitch. Strike 2.
Big time pitch there, swing and miss. Slider down in the dirt. Then had the batter swinging right over the top of it.
The 0-2 from Maybach. He delivers. Swing and a miss. He gets Grabowski. And that closes the door on what could have been a very crooked number for the Gulls here in the top of the third. They do put across 1 more run, and they'll lead 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. Seahawks due up to bat. We'll be back. Welcome back to Reynolds Field, bottom of the third. Seahawks once again trailing 2-0. This time here earlier in Game 2 of this Commonwealth Coast Conference doubleheader. Seahawks needed to win both games here this afternoon. This one from Cicada, chopped to second. The throw from Pacheco to Nardone is in time, and there's 1 away.
It's another nice play by Pacheco there. He's really been impressive so far today. He obviously showed off the power with that home run driven to left center. But he's had a couple really nice plays up the middle as well. So nice job by him so far today.
Seahawks won Game 1 in walk-off fashion. Needed to win here in Game 2. Need to win here in Game 2 to secure the top spot in the CCC. Postseason will begin next week. These games originally slated to be on Saturday, but with the rain and heavy rains in the forecast, pushed ahead to today. A little bit of sprinkles here already at the field. Hoping that the weather does not prevent these teams from playing this game to conclusion, because there's a lot on the line.
Yeah, this is the biggest game of the year for both teams. Both teams now officially playing for the 1 seed.
Count is 1-2 here to Dylan Ketch with 1 out. Swing and a miss from Ketch, and down he goes. And the big thing, too, I mean, for the Seahawks, obviously their eyes are on the 1 seed and winning the Commonwealth Coast Conference Tournament and being 3-time defending champions. But getting a win here today versus Endicott as Canoe chops it too short. McKinley Fields tosses easily over to Nardone. We'll complete that thought. In the next inning, we head to the top of the 4th, 2-0 Endicott with the lead.
And welcome back to the top half of the 4th inning here in the CCC finale. This one's hit back up the middle, and it hits Patrick. He's back, picks it up, throws first, and it is in time for the out. So out number 1 comes via a ball hit back at Pat. Hits him right in the backside. He goes down, makes an athletic play to pick it up and throw the runner out over at first. So 1 pitch, 1 out.
That is a difficult play because, one, I mean, you get hit, the initial kind of shock of that, and then couldn't initially find the ball. And then having to, as a lefty, find it, spin, throw, and get it there in time.
As this one's laid down, but foul. Yeah, he made that look really, really easy. There's you get hit by anything ever. Your first thought is, what just happened, right? Even though it's obvious it was a baseball that hit him, there's that shock factor you talked about. He got past that in a split second and then immediately picked it up and fired it.
Yeah.
Heck of a play.
Yeah. When halves of seconds make a difference between out versus safe.
Yeah. And of all the things you want to avoid happening, the leadoff batter reaching is certainly high up on that list of things you don't want to have happen. That was an amazing curveball, one of the best of the day for him.
Yeah, it's a nasty-looking hook.
Yep. Well, this is what we talked about. Pat had 8 strikeouts through 3 innings. Obviously, there's only 9 opportunities to get an out, so he's 8 of 9 as he throws his 0-2 pitch here, as it's ripped but foul. But he also had the 7 or 8 base runners in the first 3 innings, gave up the 2 runs.
6 hits.
6 hits during that time. Had the hit batter against Perkins. So it was kind of the question of which way is it going to go. It's really tough to predict because he's doing so well in terms of guys aren't hitting him well. He has 8 strikeouts in 3 innings, but also they are hitting him well. They have 6 hits, so it's tough to predict. This one's hit hard up the middle. There's Cicada. Nice play. Throws first in time. Really good chemistry between Veneruso and Cicada, the second baseman and the shortstop, because they had to call that as the ball was coming in between them. Cicada called off Veneruso. They played it to perfection. Cicada picks it up and throws the runner out at first.
I mean, that goes down as a ground out to short, but Cicada was basically on the first base side of second base to make that play. Yeah, you said, that takes a lot of trust and coordination.
Yeah. It's not even like it was like it literally was. Like it was hit to second base, the first base side of second base. Crazy. And good range, and he threw that on the run. That was a really nice play.
Does Cicada's GPA go up a little bit?
I'm going to have to make the executive decision. His
baseball GPA went up
yeah.
by a couple points.
Oh,
there.
yeah. You make a play from the second base side of the bag.
I need to see, once the regular season is concluded, for the postseason now, we need the Niall Silverman report card.
I'll bring it out. I'll put it in front of the camera. I'll tell you what gets an A on the report card. 1-2 count. And the 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. I'll give this inning an A. Well done by Pat Maybach. 1-2-3 they go. And we head to the bottom half of the fourth after the clean top half down 2-0. Well, welcome back to the bottom half of the fourth inning. The Seahawks down 2-0. Will McCarthy at the plate, our third baseman. Offensively, he's been a bit quiet today. You got to expect that he's going to be a leading factor in the Seahawks comeback here in Game 2.
Only one hit so far for the Seahawks.
This one hit a mile high, playable though, and in the infield. There's the second baseman, Pacheco. Took a tough route on it, but he ended up making the play. That is part of why we want that one seed so badly. He almost didn't make that play, not because he isn't a very capable second baseman. He's been very impressive. But that ball just got caught in the wind, and all of a sudden where he thought it was going to be was about 10 feet off of where it ended, and he made the nice play, but he almost didn't make it because of the wind.
And you have to factor in Endicott. They play on turf, and you have to start, backpedaling and drifting for some of these fly balls, and especially from where Pacheco is, you start on dirt and maybe that transition into the grass. It's very easy to stumble.
That's to say the least. You do that. If that play happens just as it did 5 times, an error will happen one of the 5 times because it's just a difficult way. It's so hard to read the ball, and then you have the grass and the dirt and that connection. There's a bit of a hop there, so certainly something that we want to have working in our favor come playoff time. Grover down in the count, 2-0 now. Canada was really sharp the last 2 innings. Ball off the plate there. The 1-2 pitch swung on, hit right side, but right at Pacheco, who makes another play. 2 outs in the inning.
Busy inning for Pacheco.
The right-handed Canada, in the first 2 innings of work, had been using his curveball a good amount, and it hadn't been working well for him. He was missing it consistently, his arm side and up. In the last 2 innings, he's been working with basically 2 pitches, his changeup and his fastball. And it's been working to perfection for him because he has a 4-seam and a 2-seam, and against lefties, he's peppering the inside half of the plate. This one's hit a mile high again off the bat of Ryan Gratial, but way foul. And it's impressive when you come into the game expecting to work a certain way, which is with your curveball, it's a part of your mix, and it isn't working that way as he goes to another changeup there, beautifully executed in the middle of the zone for strike 2. and then all of a sudden you don't have your curveball. You're just in the game, you're pitching, and your curveball isn't there for you. He's done a really good job of overcoming that problem and relying more on his two-seam fastball and changeup. And there's the slider. Excellent work from the starting pitcher, Kanata, in the bottom half of the fourth inning. The Seahawks go 1-2-3, and new pitcher will be coming in. It will be Braden Clark. We'll see you for the top of the fifth.
Welcome back. Top of the fifth, Braden Clark on the mound here for Salve Regina, taking over for Pat Maybach, who gets through 4 innings of work. And as we talked about now, a little bit of feast and famine for Maybach. Multiple strikeouts, but 6 hits, kind of, gotten into some jams here or there. Interesting to see Clark now coming in, getting a strikeout against Notarangelo, but one of the Seahawks starters coming on in relief here.
Yeah, well, I mean, 2 things jump off the bat right away. First off, the feast and famine that you're talking about is exactly right. Patrick Maybach had 9 strikeouts through 4 innings. That's elite. But he also gave up the 8 hits or the 8 base runners during that time, which is not ideal. The second thing is Braden Clark's coming to this game. He warmed up like a starter. So this is a starting pitcher coming into the game in the 5th, and it's as if this is his game. He treated it like it's a start.
Delivers here and fanned on by Nardone.
That's his 3rd time going to the changeup, and it has been used for a strike all 3 times, swung on and missed twice. His changeup looks great today.
That one outside. And if you're going to bring a starter and you want to do it like this, top of an inning, fresh inning, like you said, he can treat it like it's nothing. Fouled off here by Nardone.
Yeah, his approach as he comes in is, this is my start. That's what he's thinking. That's what he's thinking right now.
Knocked into the Gulls dugout. Rain begins to pick up a little bit. Still about an hour away from when they expect the heavier stuff to arrive.
And I'm not sure if that's a part of the reason that Braden Clark was brought in right now, but it certainly does work in our favor. Of all the pitchers we have, Braden Clark works the fastest.
Breaking ball
Beautiful.
there, gets the strikeout. Nardone, nothing to do but look at it. And now I'm all ready. Quickly 2 outs.
His changeup is looking elite today. That was the changeup that he just threw that broke about 6 inches downward.
Strike one. 0-1 from Clark. Hit in the air. Long run, and Grover and Petrosino not able to get there. Quick throw in, and this will be a double. Long shot from already, and he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
Yeah, that was a good piece of hitting there. He stays on the curveball that was outside and away, and he drove it into the right center field gap. Really good job by number 27 to stay on top of that ball, and now Mulready's on second base. And that brings out the power-hitting left-handed bat of Perkins.
Gulls lead 2-0. 7th hit of the afternoon here in Game 2. And he will just watch that first pitch for a strike. Fouled off. Count 0-2 now to Perkins.
Every hitter has their style of hitting. We haven't seen one quite like Perkins this year. He has a leg kick similar to a younger Kyle Schwarber. He is really pulling that right leg up to generate power into his lower half.
0 for 1 here in this game with a strikeout. Pops this one up. Drifting into foul territory, and the grab is made to end the inning. So the Seahawks able to get out of a bit of a jam, and we will head to the bottom of the 5th. Endicott leading 2-0. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Start of the bottom of the 5th. Petrosino will lead things off here for the Seahawks, who trail 2-0. And the rain again starting to really come down now. So the Seahawks hoping to get 2 runs this inning.
Tough play, we'll see.
That one in foul territory. Almost had 3 Gulls collide. That would have been chaotic. 1-2 the count here to Petrosino.
You know, one of the important things to point out is that for Kanata, his 2-seam is now running towards the middle of the plate, whereas in the previous 4 innings, he was keeping it completely on the inside. Now it's running a bit more arm side, which you do want to see because we have a lot of lefties in the lineup, and we were getting buzzed by the pitch, by the two-seam that would start at the hip and break back in just to the inside corner.
This one lifted shallow right center, moving back to make the grab at third. One down. Veneruso now with one out. No one on here for Salve.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we continue to see him pitch like that, because he's been dominant today, if we continue to see his two-seam run towards the middle of the plate the way that it has, watch for a lefty to stay inside on a fastball and really drive it to one of these pull side gaps.
0-1 now to Veneruso. Kanata delivers outside. Count 1-1. Check swing from Veneruso, and he takes the strike. The 1-2. Swing and a miss from Veneruso. And there's quickly two down.
We saw Schwade, Ryan Schwade, back in game one, really mix it well and have different approaches for righties and lefties. And we're seeing it again here from the game two starter, Kanata. He has a different approach for righties and lefties. But I will say that's important to see that pitch right there. He doesn't want it right there. He started that on the inner half, and it's breaking out to a ball outside to a lefty. If he tries to go to an inside fastball, it could be trouble for him.
D'Amato finds it and hits it to right field, right on cue, Niall, for a base hit.
Yeah, we're going to want to see all of our lefties step up to the plate and have that approach. His fastball is now running more than he wants it to, and there's nothing he can do about it. It just has to do with fatigue in his lower half. So lefties can stay inside, stay tight on fastballs that are starting middle or starting inside to the lefty because they are going to end up middle. Really good job by the leadoff hitter, D'Amato. Dylan catches on deck, another lefty.
Cicada will take inside. Ball one. With two outs, one on.
Cicada can drive a ball. The outfield is playing way in.
And he gets hit. So that'll put runners at first and second with two outs. I was going to ask Niall, so what do you do if you're a right-handed hitter against Kanata right now? Well, I guess get hit, and here we go. Here's the lefty. Here's Dylan Ketch, and see if his approach is similar to D'Amato's.
Well, first off, another huge spot for Dylan Ketch. In the fifth, it has started to pour. Not pour, but it started to rain harder than it was earlier, and now we are getting close to maybe the seventh could be the last inning of this game. So a late inning at bat with two runners on for Dylan Ketch here. But, yeah, that one ran inside to the righty. His ball's running more than he wants it to.
Swings at the first pitch, pops it up, and it drifts back in, but it's dropped in foul territory. Misjudged there by McKinley. Actually make that the third baseman. That's Grabowski who could not make the grab. That one was heading out and then started to twist back in, and he just missed it with the glove. So a sigh of relief for Seahawk fans there. Still alive here in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, what would have heard about that one is Ketch barreled it, but just was under it, so he popped it up. So he saw that pitch well, and that pitch was middle on a fastball. So there's a lot to like here for Dylan Ketch, who had his first home run of the season less than a week ago.
0-1 the count. Two outs, two on. The pitch. Ketch swings and misses. Now behind 0-2. He had a big two-run hit in game one to tie things up when the Seahawks were trailing 2-0 in the bottom of the eighth. Trying to at least deliver a run here. Stepping off is Kanata. 0-2 count, two outs.
Extreme speed on the bases. A ball hit into the gap could score two.
Ketch hits this one in the air, Spur is there, and he makes the grab that ends the inning. So the Seahawks strand 2, and we head to the top of the 6th. Endicott leading 2-0.
And welcome back. It's the top half of the 6th inning here in Newport, Rhode Island for the season finale of the regular season. And in a winner-take-all game, we have one of our starters on the mound in a relief role. It's Braden Clark in the top half of the 6th. He went solid back in the 5th, gave up 1 run, had 2 strikeouts. Here he is back for his 2nd inning of work. And he's quickly ahead in the count 0-2. The rain had picked up a little bit earlier. It's appeared to have had a brief intermission. A little bit of clear weather baseball with no current rain coming down right now, which is very important because this game is at the point where if it were to be called due to rain, it would be considered an official game as it's more than 5 innings through.
Right now, if we want to trust weather.com, they say that 89% chance of downpour at 5:30. So that's 22 minutes from now. As Pacheco gets hit on the legs.
Pacheco's been one of the superstars of today's battle between these two squads. He has been on base in a multitude of ways. He has the home run to left center field, and then he has significant, he probably has 5 or 6 outs made by himself or assisted on, and more than one of them was a diving play up the middle that he flipped it to second base in a run-scoring opportunity back in the first game. So that was a huge play. He's had a good day. He finds himself on first base. Hope he's all right. Due to the way that he's holding his arm, it appears he was hitting the funny bone, which is just the worst. Great curve, but great changeup to Gradowski.
You know why it's called the funny bone, right?
I don't.
It's because it's connected to the humerus.
Is that right? I don't know if that's – I'm not an anatomy major, so I actually don't know if you're serious. I'm going to take you at your word there. And I'm going to use that.
It is true, and I'm not being serious.
My dad is going to love that one. Dad joke of the year. Clark has his set. The 0-1 pitch, curveball hit left side. There's McCarthy, throws second. Veneruso throws one. Not in time to complete the double play, and a hard slide by Pacheco into second base.
Yeah, a little bit of a hesitation there from Veneruso, a bit of a double clutch because I think wasn't sure if maybe he was going to have his legs taken out from under him by the slide. And that extra second pause leads to Grabowski reaching.
And I will say the one difference is back in Game 1, Matt D'Amato did that in the first inning, and Pacheco was looking for his coach to come out and argue for an interference. Veneruso took it strong, wasn't able to complete the double play. Great curveball from Clark. He's mixing all three of his pitches really well. Curveball, changeup, and fastball all working for him. Another curveball. This one again hit to McCarthy. He fields it cleanly, throws second. There's Veneruso, throws one, and that is in time. So this time they do get to complete the 5-4-3 double play, and another efficient inning of work for Braden Clark. We head to the bottom half of the sixth inning, still chasing two. We're looking to score. It's 2-0. Goals on top. And welcome back to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Tyler Canoe will lead it off for the Seahawks here. He's looking to do some damage. The outfield, it's not a shift. It just turns out that's how they're playing, as it's been consistent for the last 2 innings of work. The outfield is shifted in. Ball's driven to the deep parts of left or right center. Could be anywhere. There'll obviously be extra bases, but they could be a triple for anybody. Canoe has wheels, can run. This one's hit left side and through for a base hit. Exactly what the doctor ordered. A leadoff single for the Seahawks here in the bottom half of the sixth. And that brings up the junior with all conference numbers. It's Will McCarthy.
Well, Canoe had been 0 for 2 with a strikeout to that point, had sat down just looking at a pitch, back-to-back pitches actually. And that time decides to swing the bat and puts it into left field.
Beautiful swing on the pitch.
McCarthy trying to get going, too. He's 0 for 2 as well. Seahawks have 3 hits in the game. Gulls with 7.
Gulls were attacking early. Seahawks look to be attacking later. This one again hit to the left side and through. Back-to-back base hits, and now runners on first and second. 2 singles in the last 3 pitches. And now we have some lefties coming up. None bigger than the one at the plate. It is Brandon Grover, the sophomore captain, with a real chance to do something special for the team that he's the captain of.
Well, if you're Salve, this is a massive opportunity because you had runners in scoring position last inning, but 2 outs. Hope to squeeze across 1. No one out, 2 on here. This is a must-have moment right now for the Seahawks.
Grover squaring to bunt, pulls back slash, takes strike 1, outside half. It's really a question of what the pitching coach or the catcher, whoever calling the pitches, has picked up on. That was a pitch that started middle and broke out. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner. If Kanata goes for an inside half fastball, it could be absolute danger. Another beautiful, beautiful two-seam pitch that starts middle and then is just cutting away from the lefty right into the outside bottom corner of the strike zone. Now quickly Brandon Grover's down 0-2. This one popped up, out of play.
Grover not going to bunt now, but with how shallow the outfield is, you show bunt and then swing. If you get a ball over one of these outfielders' heads, 2 runs are easily going to score, and if you're Grover, you could put yourself in good position as well.
When he swings through a fastball that was up in the zone, that was a really good at-bat from the starting pitcher, Kanata. And he needed it badly.
We'll see what the approach is here from Gratial.
Well, we just had a power hitter, a pull-side power hitter. Grover's a good hitter, can go to all parts of the field, as can Gratial, but both of them have immense power to their respective pull sides. Good job. That was inside. Called for a strike. Counts 0-1 on the designated hitter, right-hander, number 13. It's Ryan Gratial. He's in a huge spot, one of his biggest at-bats of the year, and he takes a fastball in the outer half, also called for a strike. So after the really tumultuous first 2 batters for the starting pitcher, Kanata, he's been coming back, guns a-blazing, to both Gratial and obviously the last hitter, Grover. He has our designated hitter in a very tough 0-2 count. Good hold. That can be a really tough pitch to lay off of fastball above the numbers, especially to a pull side power hitter. That can be one you want to jump on. 1-2. Here's Kanata. He kicks and delivers outside. Catcher calls time. Well, for now, the rain has paused. And that alleviates a certain amount of pressure that was on them to score as soon as possible. But I can tell you this, it's still on regardless. They're looking to score runs. I mean, just in the quickest
You had
possible
runners
way.
on first and second with no outs. If you're Salve Regina, you're hoping to, at worst, come away with 1 run this inning. Even if Gratial's just to fly out here and advance someone.
And this one's hit, popped up. Third baseman is there, and he makes the catch. It looked as if they had a chance to get past him and land in that short left field grass, but it did not. So now 2 outs.
Well, of all the scenarios, that's the one you didn't want, is a little pop-up on the infield.
Yeah,
that's it's an out and no advance from the base runner. So now we're back to where we were last inning. 2 outs and 2 on for the Seahawks.
Right guy, right spot. Petrosino can really attack middle fastballs. Ooh, good swing. Missed. 0-1. Petro barreled the ball foul last game. Oh, and a balk is called. So now both runners advance. The tying run is just 180 feet away. And with the speed of McCarthy, any ball hit to the outfield could certainly score 2. Although given how shallow the outfield is playing, and they're moving in now. Oh, wow. Ripped foul. 2 strikes on Petrosino. His biggest at-bat, potentially of the season, is right now. 2 runners in scoring position. The starting pitcher, 80-plus pitches. Here he comes, the 0-2 pitch. He kicks, delivers, up high.
That's good patience there by Petrosino.
One of the most tempting pitches that Gratial also held off of is that up-high fastball. Very good patience. 1-2 pitch now from Kanata, and it swung on and missed. You can't really say anything except for great job by their starting pitcher, Kanata, to finish off that bottom half of the 6th. 2 runners are stranded. Nobody scores. The Seahawks still trailing 2-0. Top of the 7th on the way.
Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Top of the 7th as Clark delivers here for a ball to Millar. Top of the order here for Endicott. Leading 2-0. Trying to secure this win in the top seed in the CCC tournament. 2-0 the count now for Clark. That one catches the plate for a strike. And so far, 4 hits for the Seahawks, 7 for the Gulls. Theirs have been louder, though, and productive. 1 run in the top of the 2nd and the 3rd for the 2-0 advantage. Two-two count. Swing and a miss from Millar.
That was really, really good. He just mixed a changeup he mixed changeup, curveball back to the changeup, all either low or middle. The curveball was middle, both the changeups were low. That was a really good sequence by the pitcher, Braden Clark.
And Millar's now struck out twice in game 2. Pitch here to Spur, the center fielder, is a strike as well. Seahawks have had their opportunities to score here in this game. Pitching has done enough of its job. Count 0-2 here. Clark trying to work quickly. He kicks and deals. That one hit in the air and foul.
That just left a dent in Carnlow Cottage roof.
That one high and inside to Spur. Count 1-2. That'll be someone's summer employment, is to re-shingle some of the surrounding buildings here at Reynolds Field. That pitch just on the corner does not get the call. Count 2-2. The pitch, breaking ball. Chopped to short. Cicada on the bounce. Guns over. Canoe trying to dig it out. The throw was low. Rounding first now, Spur will slide into second safe.
Tough play for Cicada. He had to wait back on the long hop and then was errant on the throw. Will go down as an E6. Cicada did a really good job of transferring it from his glove to his throwing hand basically instantaneously, but because of how quick the runner, the center fielder, Schwade is, it made it difficult for him to transfer and throw it accurately. He didn't, and it skipped. Canoe wasn't able to pick it.
Spur. If Schwade was playing center field, that'd be impressive.
Pardon me, Spur.
Game 1 starter, game 2 center fielder. I've seen it. There have been guys who pitch and hit.
We saw it the other day over against the Red Sox. Ohtani went 2 for 4 and struck out 11.
Well, he's
7 innings.
He's on another level. He's a monster.
He is. Good for the game of baseball that he's playing.
Absolutely. Throwback. I mean, that used to be hit on the ground. Veneruso gathers off the dirt, chucks to Canoe for the out.
That's rarely done. That was a hit and run for the batter at the plate, the 3-hitter. And they had Spur running on the pitch, and it moves him over to third. If that ball was hit to the left side, he still would have gotten to third in time.
Now the number 4 hitter, Nardone, trying to add some insurance here for the Gulls. Leading 2-0. Top of the 7th. Breaking ball in there for a strike.
You can almost call his changeup a Vulcan change. It has true downward break on it that's off the charts for a changeup.
Can't find that one is Nardone. Swings and misses, count 1-2. Two outs. Runner at third here for the Gulls. The pitch from Clark. Hit over the head of McCarthy into left field for a base hit. And the Gulls add one more run.
And that really had their dugout ecstatic. Back in game one, when their dugout was the most loud, that generally garnered the biggest response from the Seahawks. So it's certainly possible that with the excitement coming out of the Gold dugout, that could light a fire in the Seahawk dugout.
And like you said, a lot of hemming and hawing now. Some coming from the Gulls bullpen to the dugout.
And this, what we're seeing right now, is the product of the rainy conditions on the field. There is compacted dirt and clay stuck within the cleats of the pitcher, Braden Clark. And so he has, it appears to be Jarabineers with it's basically like a screwdriver that you use to get the clay out from the cleats so that you have better traction and are able to use the cleats rather than have them being basically caked in a combination of clay and dirt.
Delivers a pitch here to Mulready for ball one. 3-0 Endicott now. Here in game two of the CCC doubleheader. Mulready fouls that one off. Count 1-1. Gulls had won 17 straight games coming into this series, running through some of the best teams in New England. Seahawks came back to win in game one, snapping that streak. Now the Gulls trying to return the favor and end the Seahawks' 9-game winning streak. Count 2-1. Right now to Mulready. Clark kicks and deals on the inside corner. Cannot get the call. Count 3-1. The 3-1 from Clark. In there for a strike. Count now full.
That was a great fastball. A very important pitch. Braden certainly has a lot, not really a lot riding on getting this out, but it makes a difference if he can get his hitters back up to the plate with the momentum of a strikeout. He's looking for that here.
The pitch fouled off. Good battle here from Mulready.
Through 15 innings of offense, there have been 3 runs produced by the Seahawks and only 4 or 5 now by the Gulls. So we need something to get us going.
This one's hit hard to left, and that is away gone into the parking lot of the Antone Academic Center. A big 2-run shot for Mulready, and the Gulls have broken this one open.
Yeah, that was one of the furthest balls that's been hit against the Seahawks or for the Seahawks this year. That one cleared the hedges like it was the home run fence. That one was a no-doubter if you're using the left field hedges as your barometer for a home run. That was crushed.
5-0 now. Endicott with the lead. A massive swing of the bat from Mulready. And now the Gulls are sitting pretty.
To give you some perspective, there's the wall in left field, then there's the hedges, then there's like a parking lot where cars are parked. It's a dual-sided parking lot, and it cleared the parking lot. So that was absolutely hammered.
And again, aided, well, there's a little bit of a breeze right now, but it is not the types of breezes we have had here at Reynolds Field throughout this season.
Yeah, that wasn't one that the wind helped get out of here. That was probably approaching 385, possibly a 400-foot bomb.
Count 1 and 2 here to Perkins. That one is down low. Breaking ball. Chop to first. Canoe will field. He'll touch the bag himself. And that'll do it for the top of the 7th. But the mountain higher now for the Seahawks to climb. They are going to get their climbing boots on. We get to the bottom of the 7th. Endicott leading 5-0. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Nicholas Kanata still on the mound for the Gulls. 9 strikeouts, 80 pitches. And those 3 runs in the top of the 7th at least bought him a little leeway here in the 7th inning. He'll face Chris Veneruso, who's 0 for 1 in the game. 1 strikeout. Checks his swing here. Count will be 1-1.
Well, this is the exact part of the plate, part of the lineup you want up. 9-1-2. And for us, 9 being Veneruso, who's in a very tough count, 1-2 now. He's as good as it gets. He's the best 9 hitter in the Northeast at this point in time. So 9-1-2 is a good spot for us.
Chop by Veneruso, fielded by Kanata. He has time, and he guns on over to Nardone. Down is Veneruso. Back to the top of the order, Matt D'Amato. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Seahawks trailing 5-0. D'Amato 1 for 2 in the game with a strikeout. Here's the pitch from Kanata, fouled off by D'Amato.
D'Amato just late there, but again, a barrel. So he barreled it back behind home plate, as he most likely is looking for a different bat. Or no, it appears he's putting pine tar on his bat to gain a little bit more maybe traction. I know that's not the word for it, but like hand grip. Friction?
Tack?
Something. That's what he's doing.
Grip?
That's the word.
Count 0-2. That one smoked to the Seahawks dugout.
There's a player sitting on a bucket just on the
that chased somebody inside.
Yeah.
A little bit of friendly fire. Oh, 0-2 the count. Kanata kicks and deals. D'Amato hits it in the air and right to Spur. Again, that Endicott outfield playing in made that an easy play for Spur. And there's 2 away.
What that is a lot of confidence in their pitcher, because the only time that an outfield really has to play back is if barrels are being found and it's being driven deep. When you put your outfield in like this, what you're saying is if you are going to get it past our infield and lift the ball, it's not going to go that far because this is our guy and you're not going to hit it off him. And that's what they're doing when they're infield. Their outfield is playing 110 feet off the wall, and it worked perfectly there because that was a blooping line drive that would have been a single.
I was just going to say that could have been a base hit with the normally set outfield.
Yeah, I'd go farther than could have been, and I say definitely would have been.
1-1 the count now to Dustin Cicada with no one on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch from Kanata is outside. Count 2-1. Pitch down and away. Count 3-1. Cicada swings and lifts this one in the air. Long run out into foul territory, and that one will be behind the tarp and down to the wall and out of play territory. Counts full, 3-2.
And in this at bat, we get the chance to say for the first time, and we are very happy to announce, Zach Lopez up in the bullpen for the Salve Regina Seahawks. A very welcoming sign to see him back up and pitching.
Lopez now a senior as the walk drawn here by Cicada. Lopez, who as a freshman got the final out of the 2019 Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship game. Seems like a lifetime ago. More like 2 lifetimes.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool stat. That's really cool to hear. Well, that will be it for starting pitcher Nicholas Kanata. He had a phenomenal day. He got through 6 2/3. He leaves 1 runner on base, and 93 pitches during that time. And we will come back shortly and deliver you the name and number of the new pitcher.
Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Ian Parent, the lefty junior from Williston, Vermont, takes to the mound now for the Gulls. And what has turned to a dreary afternoon, but one that has the Gulls feeling good right now. Only needing to split here today with the Seahawks to secure the top seed. They lost game one in dramatic fashion. The Seahawks walked off in comeback fashion. And the Gulls in control right now, leading 5-0. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Parent on the year. This is his 15th appearance. 1-0 in decisions.
Well, he's down in the count 2-0, and he's going to be facing a very tough part of the lineup in 3-4-5. Obviously, there are the 2 outs, which works in his favor. And now the count 3-0.
3-0 the count. Cicada at first. And as long as the heavy rain holds off, there's still time here for the Seahawks. Just want to try and get on the board. And the walk here to Dylan Ketch. So 4 straight balls offered by Parent. And that puts runners at first and second for Tyler Canoe.
And I'll tell you, this is not a fun conversation on the mound right now. And there it is. Yep, that's the day for Ian Parent. You got to come into the game throwing strikes, especially in a game as important as this. 5 runs, yes, it seems like a lot, but that is right now 1 swing away from being a 2-run game. So Ian Parent's day is done after only 4 pitches.
You wonder if his job was simply to come in and get Dylan Ketch, and could not. So immediately turning here to Chris Jenkins, freshman righty from Mansfield, Mass. And we will step aside once again while he warms up and be right back. 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Seahawks trying to get going. We'll be back. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Still in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs, 2 on for Jenkins to face Canoe here. Runner goes from second, and so a stolen base there for Cicada.
Well, that was just a really good job of recognizing the situation. The freshman comes in, didn't check back to second base one time. Cicada extended his lead. The shortstop didn't come to cover, and he just took third.
Count is 0-1. Here's the pitch. Canoe will watch it and take it. 1 for 3 in the game. Runners at the corners here with 2 outs for the Seahawks. Jenkins delivers. Canoe. That one very close to being strike 3, will be a ball.
We'll take that.
A very gutsy take from Tyler Canoe. 1-2 count now. The pitch. Swung on by Canoe. Driven to left field. This one will skip to the wall. Home comes Cicada. Catch. Digging for third. Canoe will stand safely at second. And the Seahawks are able to get on the board a 1-run double for Tyler Canoe.
That's just absolutely big time. He's down in a 2-strike count, and we're just looking to get runners across that home plate. We need 5 of them, and he does his part, drives in a run. He now stands on second base. We have Dylan Ketch over at third, and we have our third baseman, certainly somebody that you think of and you say that's one of our guys, Will McCarthy stepping up to the plate. And now we're only 4 runs away from tying this thing up, and we're in a good spot to potentially score some more. And again, Andrew, on the mound, a freshman in one of the biggest games of the year.
Still a 4-run game, but if the Seahawks here can up the pressure, great scenario here to put across a few more. Take there from McCarthy.
Freshman arms aren't the most developed. By the time they become juniors, sometimes you see 3-pitch mixes, but you don't see a guy coming into his career like that. If he can get himself into a good hitter's count, Will McCarthy could flourish.
McCarthy chops this one to short. A little bit of a bobble there. And the Seahawks will bring across another run. The misplay by McKinley, this little roller. And again, not sure if that's the weather factor here, trying to get that one on the dirt, if it's the synthetic surface versus dirt, but the Seahawks will take it no matter how, and they get one more run.
But I can tell you what, when you drill a ball hard, good things happen. McCarthy barrels it. He did hit it into the ground, but it just made it to be a tough play for the shortstop with Tyler Canoe running in front of him, hurting his view of the ball, and now it's 5-2 with a tying run at the plate.
Grover takes for a ball.
And that's now back-to-back counts that the pitcher, freshman pitcher, is starting behind in the count. We'll see if Grover can attack that fact.
Jenkins kicks and delivers. Grover takes a big swing and misses.
Healthy hack, to say the least. We haven't been able to see Grover's power for about a week and a half now, but he has unbelievable pull-side power.
Still runners at the corners. 2 outs. The pitch. Grover swings and misses again. That ball was up in the zone. 1-2 with 2 outs. Grover grounds this one to right field. In to score. Another run is Canoe. McCarthy to third. Runners at the corners. Still 2 outs. And the Seahawks are within 2.
What a piece of hitting from the sophomore captain. Grover just stays on the inside fastball, keeps his hands inside his body, and drills it through the 3-4 hole on the right side. And now he has traded places with Will McCarthy. Now we're down by 2. The winning run, or the leading run, comes up to the plate, and the tying run is an elite runner, a green runner over at first base. If a ball goes into the gap, we will see Brandon Grover stretch it and look to score. Huge inning here. Huge inning here. These 3 runs go a very long way. Against a team like Endicott, you're not going to put up 5 without having to work very hard for it. Now we have 3, all with 2 outs.
Here's the pitch to Gratial. In there for a strike. Well, already getting more than you probably could have asked for with 2 outs.
And I'll tell you what, it does not hurt to be facing a freshman here in this spot. He's given up back-to-back runners have reached since he came in.
The pitch down and away to Gratial. Count 1-1. Runners still at the corners. 2 outs.
Gratial has a pair of absolute barrel missiles. Both of them went foul.
The pitch.
Oh, barreled.
In the air.
Barreled.
Back at
Absolutely barreled.
Spur
Down.
hits the ground. Spur grabs it. He turns.
There goes Grover.
To gun. Grover.
Tie game. Boom. Ryan Grayson with a double blast into center field over the head of Spur, and we're tied up. Oh, baby. All with 2 outs, Andrew.
Unbelievable. And again, Spur playing in the way he did made that a long run. We talked about it both games. That long run for the outfielders, if you could get one over their heads. That time it comes back to bite the Gulls. And we start again.
Yeah, this is now both games. The scoring does not start for the Seahawks until the 7th or 8th. Both of which happen with 2 outs. 2 outs, 5 runs here in the bottom half of the 7th inning for the Seahawks. None bigger than that double by Ryan Grayson, pieced to center field. And that brings in Kyle Platt to pinch run for Ryan Grayson.
The Gulls are stunned.
Yeah, they're dugout.
As are we, quite frankly. This offense, which obviously we know has been producing at a great clip, but really held in check most of the day, and it's just been a few innings here or there where it's really come alive, and the Gulls are going to make another pitching change. While they do, we will step aside. Game tied at 5 in the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Bottom of the 7th, game tied at 5. Andrew Pizzelli alongside Niall Silverman. The Seahawks have put up 5 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. What has been the difference, Niall? How has this happened?
You know, I think it's getting ahead in count. So the starting pitchers both games have been did a phenomenal job of getting themselves into counts where they were then keeping the hitters guessing. Here, the last two pitchers we saw, downing counts was consistent, and the Seahawks were on top of the best pitch that pitcher had.
Good breaking ball there. Foch Lovejoy is now the pitcher for the Gulls. He's 3-2 on the year. This is his 14th appearance. 2-1 the count. Still 2 outs. Platt, the base runner for Gratial, who had the big 2-run double to tie things up. Here's the pitch. This one again might find a gap over the head of McKinley. Coming home to score is Platt. The throw, the dive is not going to be there. The Seahawks take the lead.
You got to be kidding me. Into the game comes Kyle Platt. First thing he does, scores from second base off of that hit by the right fielder, Tyler Petrosino. The Seahawks now have the lead in the bottom of the 7th inning, and I am blown away by this 2-out rally. 6 runs, no outs.
Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable is the only word to use. This offense was, I don't want to say dead. They had put up some hits, but like a phoenix from the ashes, this Seahawks offense has come to life and is ready to keep on going.
That one gets past. No!
Oh, they got him. So Mulready digs out the wild pitch and guns down Petrosino at third. That is how the bottom of the 7th ends. But my goodness, the Seahawks put up 6, and they will lead as we head to the top of the 8th. Remarkable. You're watching Commonwealth Coast Conference action here on the Salve Athletics Network. We'll be back.
And welcome back to the top half of the 8th inning, where the Seahawks are 6 outs away from the 1 seed. In to help us get 3 of those is the senior reliever, back in action for the first time in over a month. Zach Lopez. And the first pitch that he throws in there, upstairs for ball one. In all my years of being around the game of baseball, watching baseball, I have never seen a more eventful half inning than that Seahawk 2-out rally that we just saw. One of the best performances of this season by this offense.
And just the stunned nature of, knowing the stakes, not just from a conference seeding standpoint, but that needing it in that inning with the potential for weather coming, and that could halt or end this game. Just a remarkable comeback. But we talked about the little details. Whatever the scouting report was for the Gulls to have their outfield play as far forward as they did hadn't hurt them until that Glacial at-bat when you're leading by 2 and you can't give up those 2 if there's going to be a hard hit ball. And by nature of their positioning, there was nothing once that play couldn't be made by Spur.
Well, two things. First off, Zach Lopez back to a 3-2 count. Good job by him. He was down 3-0. But secondly, it's almost maybe a positive thing. Matt D'Amato got burned by them playing so far in because maybe they felt like, okay, we'll keep doing this even with 2 outs and a power hitter up.
Yeah.
As Lopez gets ready for the 3-2 pitch. Popped up, deep to right. Petro under it. He reaches up, and he makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down. Good fight back from Zach Lopez, who was down in the count 3-0, to get his first out.
And Pacheco, too, who has definitely had a lively bat here this afternoon.
Lopez came into the game to face 7, 8, 9. This right here is the 8-hitter.
And the comeback itself is impressive, and hopefully we'll see if the Seahawks can finish this off. But not just the comeback, but doing it against the competition.
As this one's popped up, and Canute makes that play. 2 up, 2 down, a quick 2 outs. As the first pitch of the 8-hitter, Gradowski was popped up to Canu.
Now the Gulls, we said it, won 17 in a row coming in today, have faced a number of the other top teams in the region and nationally ranked teams. And the Seahawks take game 1 in comeback fashion, and that felt stunning. This win, if the Seahawks are able to get it here in game 2, would be even more stunning.
First pitch strike by Zach Lopez. Exactly right. So there is 3 factors that were specific to that moment. The first of which is there were 2 outs the entire time when they were scoring runs. There were no runs scored and 2 outs. The second of which is this game is for first place. This is what this game is for. So the stakes and then the competition. Endicott College is number 17 or 22, depending on which ranking system you look at, in the country out of 400 teams. And also they're our biggest rival. So all of that culminated to one of the most impressive innings of the year. This one's hit up the middle and in for a base hit.
That's a base hit for McKinley. Tough little play. Just kind of perfectly placed back past Lopez and out of the reach of Cicada.
And that brings up the top of the order. And the right fielder, Millar. Two outs, middle infield shifted back. Cicada and Veneruso both playing on the heel there with their heels on the outfield grass. No shift besides that placement. First pitch from Lopez, up and away.
Now it looks like it's Graham Jeffries warming in the pen rather, for the Seahawks.
And that's a story within itself. He was the starting pitcher back on Tuesday, only 3 days ago. He did go 75 pitches, depending on how you want to think about it, but it's only been 2 days rest. So it's impressive just that he's up and throwing in the bullpen. We'll obviously see what he does if he happens to come into the game, which could be sooner than later. Count is 3-0 against the leadoff hitter, Millar. The right-handed bat of Spur is on deck. And that is ball 4 right there, and we will see if that is it for Lopez's day. And it appears that it will be. So time will be called, and the right-hander, and it will be the right-hander. So Graham Jeffries will be the pitcher that comes in for the Seahawks with 2 outs in the 8th inning. We'll give him a chance to get ready, and we'll be back for the final out of the top of the 8th. Well, welcome back to the top half of the 8th inning where the new pitcher, Graham Jeffries, has finished his warm-ups and he's ready to play some baseball. He's facing the 2-hitter Spur. Graham Jeffries coming off one of the more impressive starts of the season for any pitcher, and then, of course, goes in some elite territory. He was perfect with 8 strikeouts in the first 4 innings of his start on Tuesday against Clark University. He threw 75 pitches. He's on 2 days rest, and he's here working in the bullpen. First pitch off the glove of Ketch, and that is going to have runners advancing to second and third. So now the ball, the curveball that didn't break, bounced out of the glove of the catcher and allowed for the runners to advance from first and second to second and third. Now the leading run for Endicott is only 180 feet away. The tying run only 90 feet away. One-0 pitch. Graham kicks, delivers. Beautiful, beautiful fastball. No bigger spot than this. Graham has his set. Checks the plate. Here's the pitch. Above the zone. Ball 2.
Walking spur here would not be the worst thing.
No. Now the 2-1 pitch. Graham has his set. He kicks home, and a beautiful changeup. Absolutely beautiful changeup. Really, really phenomenal pitch. And that opens things up for him to work with his curveball or his fastball, which are understood to be his 2 best pitches. He could go to either here. Here's the 2-2. Graham has his set. He kicks. He delivers, and it's fouled back. That was the fastball.
Going after spur, showing no fear.
To go inside to a righty in a 2-2 count with a fastball, that's definitely him attacking. Exactly right, attacking. Well, we do it again. Both dugouts. Very excited, very loud. And here we go. Graham kicks. The 2-2 pitch, swung on, popped up, playable. There's Veneruso. He's under it, and he makes the catch. So that will end the threat in the top half of the 8th inning. Graham Jeffries, really well done. We head to the bottom half of the 8th inning with the Seahawks on top 6-5. And welcome back to the bottom half of the 8th inning, where we're going to get a chance to see our 9-1-2 hitters. That is Chris Veneruso, Matt D'Amato, and Dustin Cicada. Give it a shot at Lovejoy. Foch Lovejoy. The Seahawks are on top 6-5, but insurance runs are never a problem. They're looking for more of them here. First pitch to Veneruso outside for ball 1. There is a new shortstop in the game. and we'll get that name for you shortly. As Veneruso sees another ball way outside, so he's up in the count 2-0. A favorable hitter's count for him. Veneruso, of course, had the game-winning walk-off RBI single back in Game 1 that gave us a shot to be here in Game 2 with an opportunity to take the number 1 seed in the conference on the final day of conference play. And now Veneruso does see a strike. That one was up and in.
So that is Jimmy Edwards, the senior from Cheshire, Connecticut, playing shortstop now for the Gulls.
Pitch to Veneruso way inside on the curveball, so he now sits in a 3-1 count. Three-one pitch to Veneruso, beautiful pitch. Fastball in our half, down low. And the count moves to 3-2. A crucial part of that seventh inning run was the Will McCarthy reach on error to the shortstop position. And they immediately in the following inning go with the new shortstop.
I'll tell you what, most of this day has been dreary and cloudy and cold. If you're the Seahawks and you come back and win both of these games, you remember it like it's a 70-degree day.
The best day of the year.
If you're Endicott, 2 very frustrating losses, if that's to be the case, and you feel like it was 10 degrees and you're in Antarctica.
And on first base now with nobody out, Chris Veneruso reaches on the walk, and that puts a runner on base.
What's more amazing is, I mean, we've said it, that this matchup feels like a heavyweight fight, but it hasn't been this trading of blows. It's been like a game of runs. I mean, Endicott has been kind of consistent between both games, and the Seahawks just explode in one inning.
Yeah. And here comes a pitching coach. There is somebody getting hot in the bullpen for Endicott. And that will be it for Lovejoy. So the leadoff walk ends his day as he hustles back to his dugout. A new pitcher comes in for Endicott. They're 4th in a short time. We'll give you guys a break as we figure out the name and number of the new pitcher coming in. Seahawks on top 6-5, runner on first. And welcome back to the bottom half of the 8th inning, where we get to see Matt D'Amato face the new pitcher, Will Fox, a right-hander. First pitch from him, down low. That seems to be the trend. Pitchers coming out of the bullpen, and to the dismay of the pitching coach and the head coach over at Endicott, not a lot of first pitch strikes, giving the Seahawk hitters a chance to really sit and wait on the pitch that they want to hit. Like an inside fastball that Matt D'Amato barrels up, but foul.
The last two pitchers for Endicott both kind of have this violent right-handed delivery. Yeah, with the conditions on the field. Worry about either of those guys slipping off the mound.
We saw that in warm-ups from relief pitcher Zach Lopez, but it didn't happen in the game, and we haven't seen it in the game yet, but it has been certainly something to note. Braden Clark had to have his shoes cleaned from all the mud that was in them, so it is something that could happen. Foul ball off the bat of Matt D'Amato. Stay alive. Counts 1-2. He is the leader for the Seahawks in terms of reached base, the count for reached base in today's doubleheader. 1-2 pitch from Fox. Swung on, hit, left center field, has a shot. There goes the left fielder. He reaches up and he makes the catch. Very athletic play by the left fielder to reach up and make that play while running at basically max speed. Number 34. I honestly wish I could say his name because he deserves to be mentioned.
Not Arangelo.
Not Arangelo. There we go. With one out now, that brings up the two-hitter, Dustin Cicada. Runner going. There's been a Russo. It's going to be – oh. Well, he's called out. He most likely was out. It was a really athletic slide by him. He stopped his slide about 2 feet short of the bag to avoid being tagged by the second baseman who had beat him by a significant margin. He tried to stop and then, jump over the glove, but he got tagged out before he was able to get his right foot down on the bag. Really good job by the catcher. He has been on point today, throwing out 2 runners. And now there are 2 outs. There are, however, 2 balls, no strikes. To the shortstop, Dustin Cicada. And that one's well up and in. And that one is in there for a strike. So the count's either 2-1 or 2-2. A bit unsure what the count is. Either way. Fox is set. He kicks, delivers, swung on, popped up. And it looks as if it'll be out of play. Oh, it was, I don't know. It looked as if it was not out of play, and it hit off the catcher's glove. Either way, foul ball. Two-two count to the shortstop. Fox is set. He kicks and delivers, and this one swung on, hit left center field. There's Notarangelo again, and he reaches up and makes the catch. So well done by the left fielder, Notarangelo, to make 2 plays over in the outfield. And that'll do it for the bottom half of the 8th. We head to the top of the 9th. Seahawks on top, 6-5. We're playing for the 1 seed. 3 outs away.
Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Top of the ninth. Graham Jeffries still on the mound. Will face Notarangelo. Seahawks trying to close this one out. Andrew Pizzelli alongside Niall Silberman bringing you the call. The Seahawks have been down in both games here of this Commonwealth Coast Conference doubleheader, and in both they have clawed back to take the lead. They did it in walk-off fashion in Game 1, trying to do it with the defense here in Game 2 after falling behind 5-0. They lead 6-5. Count is 0-1 right now to Notarangelo, who gets hit by Jeffries. Now, we had Andrew Roman warming in the pen. We're curious to see how long the leash would be. He hits the tying run on. And we'll see what happens. And he will face Nardone. So the Gulls have a tying run aboard.
Well, that's certainly not the way that you would have wanted to start off the inning. Runner on first, nobody out. It's a good runner over at third. Their three-hitter, Notarangelo, the outfielder, the left fielder.
Jeffries delivers to Nardone. In there. Taking it for a strike. Owen won the count. Jeffries delivers. Fouled.
Whoa.
Towards the Gulls dugout. Friendly fire.
That was blasted right at their netting on the dugout side. I saw about 40 different Endicott players take a little half step backwards there. That was ripped.
Not that the adrenaline wasn't already going probably in either of these dugouts, but that's a little bit of an extra jolt on top of it. 0-2 the count. One on here for the Gulls. The pitch from Jeffries. Breaking ball outside. Good job there by Dylan Ketch to pop up and snag that.
Yeah, you can't even understate the importance of Dylan Ketch making that play. Runner on first, not the worst thing in the world with nobody out, but when you're chasing one, to have that runner on second, nobody out is a big deal. Good job, Dylan Ketch.
The 1-2. Up high.
Oh.
And they're going to say that he went.
Huge.
So 1 out. That's a massive call.
Yeah, what a turn of events. It went from almost being a runner on second with nobody out, but that great catch by Dylan Ketch to stop that run from getting to second, and then the next pitch gets the call on the check swing, and now there's 1 out.
And this may be it for Jeffries. Head coach Eric Sorella coming out to chat with his pitcher. And he makes the call. Andrew Roman, who picked up the win in Game 1, coming out now to try and pick up a save here in Game 2. We will take a short break while he warms up. Seahawks leading 6-5, 2 outs away from a big CCC sweep. We'll be back. Welcome back to Reynolds Field as Andrew Roman finalizes his warm-up. It'll be 1 on, 1 out here for the Gulls. Trying to extend this game. It will be Mulready, the catcher, to face Andrew Roman, who is 2 for 4, has struck out.
Endicott has 2 home runs so far today, and Roman is about to face both of the players that have one. Mulready and Perkins.
Both dugouts come to their feet. Roman delivers. This one hard hit to left field. D'Amato there to make the grab, and he quickly guns it back into Cicada. Chased back to first is Notarangelo. A big swing of the bat at the first pitch from Mulready, but a great play by D'Amato in the right place in left field to prevent any runs.
Yeah, that's just absolutely huge, well placed. If you're going to have a ball hit hard like that, it has to be at one of your outfielders, and it just so happened that Matt D'Amato, the all-conference outfielder, was right there ready to make the play. Tough ball. It had to move him a bit back onto his heels, made the play. We're 1 out away.
And here is Perkins, another big bat for the Gulls. 2 outs. Seahawks 1 out away from completing a remarkable comeback sweep here of the Gulls to wrap up the CCC regular season. Roman will check over on Notarangelo. And what's remarkable is it has had a playoff atmosphere here today in these games.
Non-stop energy from both sides.
The tournament, when it starts next week, is going to be a lot of fun. The pitch from Roman. That one down low.
Another big defensive play by Catch. Again, if that runner gets to second base at any point, they're a base hit away from scoring.
One and 0 the count. Roman again guns back to first. Very close call, but hopping back, diving back is Notarangelo.
Notarangelo has a stolen base today. Roman aware of it, wants to keep him close.
Kicks and deals home. Breaking ball outside. Cannot get the call. Count 2-0. With a 2-0 from Roman. Fouled off. Count 2-1.
I'll tell you what, this is just a battle between 2 power players. Perkins is a power hitter. That's what he's in the lineup for. He has 7 home runs, 8 home runs now. And then Roman is the power arm of the bullpen. It is power against power right now.
Roman delivers. Fouled off again. Gulls now down to their final strike. Count 2-2. 2 outs, 1 on. Top of the 9th here from Reynolds Field.
Andrew Roman is 1 strike away from delivering the Salve Regina Seahawks another conference title. Season conference title.
If teams did not already have the attention, they do now. The pitch. Hit right field and foul. Seahawks have been kicking at the door of a national ranking, ranked regionally. This is a massive matchup here today. Seahawks have definitely already made waves with what they have done here in these 2 games.
They're looking for 10 straight wins and the number 1 seed in the regular season standings.
The 2-2 from Roman bounces, and that'll move Notarangelo over to second. So now he is in scoring position. And the count is full, 3-2.
I mean, for both sides, you don't draw it up any better than this. I mean, this is that Hollywood ending that every team always hopes for. You know, the season's coming down to this play right here. Who wins the regular season standings? Who's the 1 seed? Comes down to this right here. It's the top of the 9th. It's a 1-run game. The tying run's on 2nd. A power hitter versus a power pitcher. I mean, the stakes are
full count, top of the 9th.
It's everything you dream of in the backyard as a kid.
Andrew Roman has been in tons of these pressure situations, staring down Perkins. 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. Here it comes. Hit in the air. Looking back. Grover under it. And he makes the grab to end the game. The Seahawks come storming back in 2 games. They shock the Endicott Gulls here this afternoon. They sweep the CCC doubleheader to earn the top spot in the conference, and they definitely have everyone's attention now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be kidding me. Back-to-back comeback wins in the final day of the regular season. 1 in the 7th inning, 1 in the 8th inning. We put up 6 runs, all with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 7th inning in Game 2. And now, once again, we get the chance to say the 2022 regular season champs, Salve Regina Seahawks, coached by Eric Sorella. Phenomenal.
The playoffs come through Reynolds. The Seahawks are just, I mean, they're good anywhere, but they are a different team here. And for Endicott, 17 straight wins. I mean, we can't, like we've said, the coming back just in the situations that they came back today for Salve, impressive. Doing it against an Endicott team that was as hot and playing as well as anybody. Makes it twice as impressive. And I think we can both safely say this was a playoff preview. These 2 teams will be meeting again with the stakes even higher.
You know, one of my favorite things about today's games is both of them were come from behind wins to end the season on a 10-game winning streak, right? This season did not start off particularly well for the Seahawks in the same way that today's games did not. That trip down to Florida was in some ways a reality check. We lost 4 games out of 9, 4 games in a week. And from that point on, we really kind of came back and started to figure things out in the same way that today was a come from behind, play really well at the end.
It was a microcosm.
100%.
Both of these games were a microcosm of the Seahawks season. Obviously, a gut punch for the Gulls. They now will have to face the specter of having to return here to Reynolds Field at some point in the postseason, which will begin next week. I have to see how the other conference games shake out and see who the Seahawks will be playing. But for now, the focus is on this game. What a day here today between the Seahawks and the Gulls. So the Seahawks pick up 2 wins, 2 necessary wins to earn the top spot in the CCC. They are now 26-9-2, 14-0-2 in conference play. Endicott still very impressive, 32-7 overall on the season, but 14-2. Both of those conference losses coming here today in what was a heavyweight fight between 2 of the conferences and the region's best. So stay tuned to salveathletics.com for all the updates of times and dates for the playoff tournament contests. But for now, for Niall Silberman, I am Andrew Pizzelli. The Seahawks sweep the Endicott Gulls here today. They have earned the top spot in the conference tournament. Have a good afternoon, everyone.